All right. Check. Mic check. Hey, what's up?
What's good?
What's
Hello.
going on? Hey, this is the episode. What episode am I on? 26, I think. Episode 26 of the Fill-In-The-Blank Interlude Podcast. Actually, I think I'll probably change the name of my podcast. So, drum roll.
Oh, we're doing the drum roll take.
New name. So what it's going to be called now, I'm just going to call it Naoto's Interlude. I feel like that'll just make life so much easier.
Facts.
Rolls off the tongue.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, there we go.
Tell the people.
So, hey, today we got a very special fucking guest. We've been discussing, like, we've been wanting to do a podcast together for the longest. From time. For a while now. So, I'll just go ahead with the introduction. I got Rufaro.
You know the vibes. It's Rufaro.
You know the vibe.
I'm here. I landed. I touched.
Yup.
We reached.
Touchdown
it's
the
pod time.
studio space. Let's go.
Let's go.
Got the orange crushing gin in hand.
That's the best.
You know
mix.
what I mean?
If
Yeah.
you've never tried it, try it.
Is it actually bomb?
No, I've never actually tried it.
Okay.
I'm just talking shit.
Yeah. No, it's all good. It's all good. Well, as long as it's working, then
It's working.
It's all good. Man, how have you been?
I've been good, man. Just busy working. Literally, my whole life now is just work.
Yeah.
And work and trying to learn more, honestly, about my industries.
Right.
But because honestly, if I want to move up, I've kind of just learned that it's more a taking upon yourself as opposed to people just handing you stuff, right?
Yeah.
And we're all kind of going through that journey, and that's been most of my time now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, what you been up to lately?
Enough. With me, like, I'm still working at Canada Drives, but I'm probably gonna quit. Actually,
have to
end of this
sometimes.
month.
Oh yeah.
End of this month. Yeah. No, I'm gonna tell them like pretty soon because I'm actually thinking about either going back to school or moving to Toronto and then like pursuing like a media career in Toronto, or just getting the education. Because like you said, it's kind of like people won't just hand you things. You actually have to earn it, and you have to learn. You know what I mean? Like,
and I find that like
effort.
People like actively are trying to make you do things that aren't really for your good. It's just for like their own good. Like, for example, like look at the way like even the place we used to work, Canada Drives, like the way they treat their employees, like it's not really for your good. Like,
No,
they don't care about your self progression, right?
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to be doing stuff in the background. Like, I remember when I worked there,
Absolutely.
I used to just spend hours looking for other jobs and applying to other jobs and perfecting my cover letters while I was working.
Yeah.
And listening to music and watching YouTube videos, all that stuff.
Man, that's like my issue is because my attention is so divided. I remember what you said, like around the time when you were like going for interviews, you're just like, you know what? Like what I did was like, as soon as I got home, like I was spending all my time searching for another job.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm like doing it sparingly. So I get interviews, but then it's not like, I'm not in that like interview shape. Like my cover letters.
I know what you mean.
Quite there. That's why I'm sort of just thinking like, okay, honestly, by the time I'm going to quit, I'll probably have some money saved up, so I'll be good. So I'd rather just spend all my time, like treat it like a full-time job.
No, I know what you mean. Like, I think it is kind of a smart idea too. Like, if you quit your current job right now, and let's say you move to Toronto, because it's like you gave yourself an ultimatum. You're there now. You don't have a job, and you have to. And now your job right now is finding a job. And you have no choice. Otherwise, you just run out of money. And,
exactly.
And that shit's not good.
And I think that's like what a bunch of my friends did, like graduating university and after expressing they want to move to Toronto. So that's sort of like the plan that I have for myself right now. And of course, I'm working on this pod, trying to start a YouTube channel,
Huge.
Trying to be an A&R. Like it's getting busy, but it's fun. It's fun. Yeah, man. I can't believe I have you on this podcast.
I know, me too. I can't believe it finally happened. We've been talking about it for a while.
You just hit me up today. You're just like, yo.
I was like, hey, what's up?
I'm like, all right.
Do you want to pull up? Yeah, I'm going to pull up.
Like, okay. Do you want to pull up at like 1?
Yeah, 5 hours ago.
5 hours ago. But hey, it's happening now. So that's all that matters, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I got some topics today.
Let's do it. Let's get into it.
Pre-approved and everything. Like,
give the people what they want.
Yeah, absolutely.
These hard-hitting, important topics for the culture.
This hard-hitting content, culturally relevant content. Let's go. So I'm just going to start off right now. So let's just start it off with, how about I guess let's talk about how Future is the male Beyonce. Or the Beyonce for men.
Beyonce for men.
Beyonce for men.
Let me tell you something, you women. It's over for you guys, okay? We have our toxic king. It's Future. My favorite thing about Future is he is so toxic that other men around him become more toxic. A Drake record with Future is toxic Drake. Weekend and Future together. Are you kidding me?
The most toxic
Low
thing
Life.
ever.
The song is celebrating how bad of a person you are. Low Life is like my favorite song, man. If you ever do some fuck shit, just listen to Low Life. You're like, man, I'm a low life. Like, man, I'm a low life. Come on now. Coming Out Strong, that song. I think it's on The Weeknd's album, and it's like it's just like I'm a shitty guy. Yeah, exactly. I'm still in this bitch.
Even like the song Throwaway, where it's like Future's at his absolute saddest. He's still a fucking asshole.
He's a dickhead.
He's just like he still calls his ex a throwaway. He just starts talking about like how when another girl is sucking his dick, he still thinks about her. Like that's just like so toxic.
He really doesn't even care. Like this man, like he has so many baby mamas that like a girl will accuse him of, let's say, oh, I have your child. Like he'll just be like LOL in the comment section. Like man says LOL about a fucking child. Like this says like lol, whatever.
He gave his own child a Rolex.
Yeah, that's the most absentee rich dad thing I've ever heard in my life. This kid doesn't even want a Rolex. He wants like one of the fucking toy cars or Hot Wheels. He's like, yo, just take the Rolex, man.
No, this is why he
probably didn't even buy it. He probably just went to his closet and was like, yeah, throw him one of these.
Throw him one of these.
Yeah, one of them ones.
Like that picture looked so goofy. It was still like 5 sizes too big.
It's so stupid. I'm like, who is this guy?
And then Russell Wilson's out here acting like a dad for his own child.
Perfect dad.
Yeah, like the absolute perfect dad. And here Future comes. He's like, hey son, that I barely see.
Yeah, I don't even know. The funniest thing, the baby's name is Future, man.
Yeah.
He literally names his son his rap name. His fucking rap name.
That's Nate Davies.
That's hilarious, man. Could you imagine? That's the dumbest thing. That's like, imagine if Anna Lee had a kid and he just named his kid Chopper. Like,
yeah, no, for real.
Yeah, for
or
real.
Chop or something.
Yeah, something
like,
stupid. I love it though.
So dumb. Future is amazing. Like,
no, he's amazing.
He continues to just, create waves of toxicity that just reverberate through the culture.
He makes toxicity sound so good.
I know.
Come
it's
on,
like
man.
When he said she belongs to the streets, I felt that.
You felt that?
I felt that to the bottom of the core. I was just like, she does.
Talking about like some sad shit about like what's the song? Mask Off. We talk. It's just him repeating his drug addiction over and over. But the man, you out there, hey, he's like Mask Off. Like, but Molly Percocet's wild mix, by the way. I would never. But this man apparently.
And then he's got like 14, 15-year-old kids out here just singing that.
Bro, yeah.
Which is wild. Could you imagine as a parent, like just hearing your child being like Molly Percocet?
Over and over and over again.
You're
what
like,
are you
hold
listening
on. It's just like, wait, excuse me?
Yeah.
What did you just say?
Yeah. What are you saying?
What'd you just say?
I feel like most parents probably don't really know like what Molly is. I don't know.
That's true.
I don't know what old people really know. Be like,
yeah.
Even like, to be honest, I'm not cool, so I don't know what a Percocet really is.
Yeah.
But like, I just assume it's like one of them prescription drugs that makes you like tired.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. I'm pretty sure it's an opiate.
It's like something rich people take on planes to sleep.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it is. Yeah,
it's pretty like Xanax, Perks, like all that's just like opiates.
Like Drake said, half a Zanny, right?
Yeah, half a Zanny till I I forgot.
Pass out or something.
Something about
y'all know the fucking lyric.
Yeah,
you guys know it.
You guys already know.
You know what we're talking about.
You already know.
You know
the vibes. Bro. Yo, Astrofest happened recently.
Yo, did you see that lineup?
No, I didn't.
It's crazy.
Kanye was there.
He brought Kanye. If you look up the lineup, man, it's wild.
No, because I think the Odd Future, like I think the Tyler thing happened as well.
Oh, what's that? What's theirs called again?
I forgot what it was.
What do you think about the concept of a surprise like set list, I guess, or like a surprise set?
You know what? I think it's cool in the moment. I think
it's something you can do over every single year.
Well, it depends. It depends on like how much like relevant like currency the name of that festival has.
Okay.
I think like if it's like Astrofest, then you don't have to announce a lineup. If it's like OVO Fest, you don't have to because of the artist attached to Astro World. Exactly. Because then
OVO,
now you can assume that like an artist around Travis Scott is going to be there.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Drake might be there. Like
artists that like he normally collabs with like Drake, Lil Duke, or whatever, all of them.
Yeah.
So do you think like the same kind of, how about like a festival that's not really attached to a single artist, but like is known for like having good lineups? Like let's say, what if Rolling Loud tried to do the same thing? You think it would work or no?
I don't think it would. I honestly don't think it would because do you think it would? Still,
I was actually thinking about this earlier because the thing about Rolling Loud is they have so many different artists that like I don't know. I don't think it would have the same kind of impact because the thing about like Astrofest, right, being a surprise lineup is that if I'm a Travis Scott fan, I know that I'm gonna get. I kind of know what to expect. I know which kind of artist that he normally collabs with, so who's gonna come. So me as a fan of Travis Scott and probably the other artists around him, I'm gonna come. But let's say Rolling Loud tried the same thing. There's so much variety that I wouldn't really know what to expect, so it's too much of a risk for me.
Yeah, right? Exactly. No, like if Rolling Loud came out with a surprise lineup, I'd literally assume like, like literally Currency is going to be headlining. Yeah. And I don't want to go to that.
Exactly.
But no disrespect to Currency, but you know what I mean? Like I think there's too much of a risk. Like for me, like if Rolling Loud was like surprise lineups, then I would assume that they didn't really get that good of a lineup.
Unless you think it would be like a ploy to just try to sell as much tickets as possible.
Yeah. When their lineup's not even that
when
impressive.
It's kind of shitty, yeah.
But if they gave out like pretty cool hints,
like,
let's say
like maybe one headliner or something.
Yeah, maybe one headliner, or maybe like even hinted towards Travis Scott being there. Yeah, like kind of obviously, so that now you get people more talking excited, about it, and then now you can drop other hints and then more vague ones, and then people might be like, oh, like who could that be? So maybe it could work, but if I was Rolling Loud, I would definitely not risk it. So
you would not risk it?
Yeah, no, I would not risk it. I mean, God, would you want to see a Future set?
A whole Future set? Yeah. To be honest, yeah, I would.
Okay. Because I heard those are pretty awful.
Are they?
Because he just stands around and just like walks around and just.
I could imagine. He just doesn't seem like he cares about much. Like he just kind of seems like he just chilled all the time.
He just wants to do like whatever, you know, like
drugs. He wants to do drugs. To be clear, that seems like his number one priority.
Drugs and treating women horribly, awfully, just absolutely horribly.
The best thing about Future is like he is not responsible. Well, he hasn't been made responsible for any of his actions. Like when people say there's consequences to the actions, not for him. Like he just does whatever. He'll like cheat in public on somebody and nothing happens. Nothing will come from it.
It's like all the women out here, like whatever he does, they just think that Breaking Bad meme where it was just like, how does he keep getting away with it? Yeah, it's like that's Future, man.
That's him.
Future is like the rap game, like Heisenberg. Like it's wild. He just does whatever, and
it's like he's on a TV show. Like,
and you know what? There's like a part of it. Yeah. He's an anti-hero.
Yeah,
I know what you mean. He's like the Joker, dude.
Like sometimes it just seems like he just does something just because he can,
or just because he can.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's if anybody helps during a breakup, it'd definitely be Future.
No, it's Future.
Future's music for sure. Because then now you'll just be like, oh, I don't
give a fuck about that.
I don't care.
Like,
I don't care.
I don't even know her name anymore. I don't know your name. Like,
who?
In fact, slide me your best friend's phone number. While we're at it, slide me your phone number. She was looking kind of fat in them Fashion Nova jeans, huh?
Hey, this is why I got her number and pretend to be friends with her in the first place.
Come on, man. It's a long game. It's a marathon, not a sprint, ma'am. Give me the digits.
Yo, the marathon continues.
Drop the 1-800. Come on.
The marathon continues. Rest in peace, Nip.
R.I.P. Nip.
That's definitely not what he meant. But man, oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he meant that he was trying to clap the friend Lauren London's friend's cheeks. I don't think that's what he meant.
Definitely not. And if I had Lauren London was like my wife, I definitely wouldn't like mess around with that at all.
Unless you're Future.
Unless I'm Future. Yeah. If you Future better not get close to Lauren London. Like God, Kodak Black's comments.
Kodak Black is wild. No, what do you think about Kodak Black? Do you think that he is the person he portrays, or is that just the persona he puts on?
I think he's a person that he portrays.
Like
I think he's crazy. Like I think he's that wild. Like he literally
the things he'll say, like the things he's willing to say.
Think he beat up a correctional officer, like in prison.
He beat up a CO, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, and he had to go to a hospital.
That's crazy.
It was like a couple months ago. This was like maybe a month ago. Like it's wild. Like he's just nuts.
Like, do you remember those young MA comments he made? I think he put it in a song, didn't he? He said something about her. No, he said he'd still fuck her. I'm like, what is going on?
He said something about like how he basically convinced her to change her sexual orientation
and then fuck her.
I'm just like,
and I was like, whoa,
what?
I was like, whoa. I had to play that one back. I was like, I'm gonna rewind that.
Yeah, at that point, I was just like, all right,
but you kind of like expect it because some like yeah.
Yeah, no, that.
God, I remember when Big Man burst onto the scene with Skirt. I played that song so many times when it came up, and I really think that song was like the first of not a generation. It was like the first of a certain type of genre where it was like it was like a trap song, but it had kind of the very obvious overtones of R&B to it.
Right. Yeah. No, absolutely.
But it wasn't like it was purposely unpolished.
Yeah,
almost. You know what I'm saying?
It's not like an A Boogie where like that's polished.
No,
you know what I mean,
that's polished, but but what he was doing, was purposely
like a very messy. I don't know how to describe it.
Me neither, but it was really when it came out unique and it was catchy.
Did you like the Roy Woods remix of that?
Yes. Oh my god.
Skirt. Yeah.
Roy Woods bodied that remix. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the only song that I really like from like Roy Woods.
From Roy Woods?
Yeah.
Man,
I mean, he probably has that like one Drake song that like I liked. I forgot what it's called.
Fuck. Drama. Yeah, right? Drama.
Yeah. No, definitely that.
I heard that Drake really was like stealing from like he would take beats that were made for Roy Woods and then he'd give them to himself if they're good enough, stuff like that. But you kind of expect that though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, Baka did have an interview, but I don't know if I like necessarily trust everything Baka says. I feel like there is bias there.
Yeah, obviously, this is just conjecture. We're just talking shit.
Yeah.
So,
No, absolutely. But like, I think with like Baka, like he was saying like, I think like he was on the No Jumper podcast and like Adam 22 like asked him that question of like, oh, so Drake is accused of this, like. Does this happen where he just like
takes people under their wing?
And ends up taking their best work. Yeah. And then
I heard that's what happened to The Weeknd as well. Like he kind of did the same thing where there was a bunch of beats that were supposed to be on The Weeknd's album, but then Drake just took them, and that's what made the majority of what's that up? Take Care.
But I think it was only like 4 or 5 songs. Yeah, like I don't think it was that many. And like
4 or 5 is kind of like it's if you're an artist, 4 or 5 that's your blood, sweat, and tears.
That was supposed to be like a big chunk of House of Balloons. Yeah. But to be honest, it's like what Take Care songs would have been that, right? Like. Maybe like The Ride. Yep. Maybe Crew Love.
Crew Love definitely sounds like it should have been a Weeknd song.
But honestly, Crew Love. Well, to be honest, like Crew Love's one of my least favorite songs on Take Care. That's why I'm like.
That's a good take. No,
to be honest, like the only beat that I think was like really fire off of Take Care that The Weeknd probably contributed to was like The Ride.
Yeah.
But then every like shot for me, like maybe that was a. Weeknd beat. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. But like for the most part, I still do think that like most of the important contributions from that album were Drake.
No, I agree with that. And also, like, if you're an artist, let's say under his label, it's kind of like a give and take kind of thing. Because obviously, you're gonna get so much exposure just because Drake literally will make an artist's career even just by posting him listening to songs just on the internet, like on Instagram. He's done that for so many people.
I mean, like to be honest, like people always make that argument of like, oh, like if they didn't sign a OVO, they wouldn't have been as big. But like, honestly, how big would have Majid Jordan have been if they were just independent? Or if they were just signed to like Atlantic or something.
Where there would be like the 5th, 6th, 7th choice. Like nobody really paid attention to them. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, and that's the thing with Majid Jordan. They have a pretty dedicated fan base.
Yeah, they do.
You know what I mean? Yep. Like, anyways, God. Okay, let's move on because I think we talked enough about Future's toxicity, which somehow led us to Drake.
To more general music topics.
Music topics. So shouts out to our toxic king. Happy Lord's Day, I guess.
Happy being toxic.
Yeah, happy being toxic, guys.
Like keep doing y'all. Keep doing what you guys do best.
Keep doing what y'all do best.
She sent you a long paragraph. Reply with K. Don't worry about it. Huh?
Yeah. Or like definitely, just reply with K.
Yeah. Or maybe even hit her with the 8-ball pool request. after the long paragraph about how you don't communicate properly. Want to play pool?
No, it's not that you don't communicate properly. It's just she just doesn't understand what you're trying to say.
She doesn't get it.
She just doesn't get it.
She doesn't get it. She doesn't know.
She doesn't know. She just doesn't understand. It's not that we can't communicate. It's just you don't understand. We're saying it. You just misconstrued it.
We don't get it.
You know what I mean? So.
Come on now.
Come on now. All right. Yo, let's talk about like T.I. and his daughter.
And the gynecologist hymen debacle.
God. Yeah. So I guess everybody at this point probably knows about T.I. and how.
Give him a rundown.
Yeah. Basically, T.I. He was like saying the story in a podcast basically about how he goes to the gynecologist.
Yep.
So the doctor can check if his daughter's hymen's still intact.
Yes. So pretty much what happens is like he goes to the gynecologist with his daughter. Yeah. Obviously, he's not in the room because I don't think that's even allowed.
No, I don't think it is either.
After the gynecologist gives her a paper, and on the paper it says
to disclose, right?
It's a disclosure of information paper, and then T.I. can judge by what his daughter does whether there's something that she doesn't want him to know. So obviously, if she refuses to sign, then there's something that she doesn't want him to know. So he'll know that the hymen is broken, and then in his head that means that she's had sex, right? Which is there's a lot of things wrong with that already, but
so problematic.
Yeah. So that's pretty much the gist of the story, and then So in his head, that's how he keeps making sure his daughter is not having sex, even though she's a full-blown adult. So,
yeah. I mean, I just heard some wild ass takes from fucking Charlemagne, and even like sometimes like Joe Budden to an extent where they're just like, he's a parent, like, you know, it's his choice. But it's like, this is wrong. Like,
it's wrong.
This is not okay.
It's wrong
at all.
And also the hymen can be broken from fucking horseback riding a bike.
So many different ways.
So many.
But then his response was like, "Yeah, she's not riding a bike. She's not riding horses. She doesn't like." She's not active. I'm like, dude, yo, stop.
Yeah, like relax yourself. And the other problem was that.
Did you hear the video clip?
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah. Oh, it was really weird actually, because if you listen to the podcast, like it sounds like. Because people were getting on the podcasters back like, oh, why are they laughing? Like, it's serious. But I really think it was more one of those things where when you're in an awkward situation, somebody says something like really offensive, you don't know what to do.
Yeah, you don't know how to react.
You kind of just like laugh nervously almost.
Right.
Or you're just in shock because obviously you're not going to right then and there be like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Right? But then after, in retrospect, you're like, hey, this is really wrong what he said.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah. I definitely did get that sense as well, especially since I think both of the hosts are women.
And they apologize, and
they apologize. Exactly. So I'm pretty sure, like you said, that was probably the situation of the whole thing. They probably just like were just so uncomfortable, and they're just like, what is T.I. saying?
Yeah, what is he saying right now?
I feel like them laughing got him to just keep going because he was laughing as if it was a joke.
Yeah, he's kind of saying it like in the most casual, like the same way I describe going to get groceries or somebody. It's the way you're describing checking his daughter's hymen. Very weird.
Nah.
Every single time I say checking daughter's hymen, I just feel really weird about it.
She's like 16, dude. Like, and she was it was funny. Like, she was on Twitter, like liking people's negatives,
tweets, criticizing that action.
Man, like, which I understand because you know
it's a huge invasion of privacy.
Yep. Because like, could you imagine if like, let's say like, I don't know, part of our ball sack like ripped after we had sex or something, and then our parent, like, we had to go see, they forced us to go see someone, like, look at our private parts when we don't want them to.
Yep.
And then have them tell my parents information about, like, that part of the ball sack that rips after sex.
Also,
like, that's fucked up.
It's setting a bad precedent for a daughter, because in terms of power balances in relationships, I feel like it's kind of teaching his daughter that men are essentially just all powerful in a relationship. Like to the fact that they can control what you do to your body and they have all access whenever they want is not something that he should really be encouraging in his daughter. And it's actually
definitely not.
It's good. What he wants, I understand as a parent what he wants. He wants his daughter, A, I guess, not to have sex when it's too early, and B, probably get in a healthy relationship. But I think what he's doing is like he's actually pushing her to unhealthy relationships, right?
And he's definitely like exhibiting like exactly. Like he's displaying unhealthy behaviors and power dynamics, and that's
between men. I
and
agree.
Like she's still so young where it's like that hopefully doesn't become a factor with her like future relationships. But you know, like all that kind of shit just definitely just carries over, and
I agree.
It's unfortunate, but you know what? This backlash is very needed because at least now he can see that, oh, this is problematic. So hopefully he turns this around. And
do you think he'll do anything or change at all?
I don't know. I have faith that T.I. will, because T.I. shows that he can change.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
T.I. shows that he can change. Yeah. No, I think there's a potential there for him to grow from it.
I also saw a lot of backlash because in one of the episodes in his show, his son was on, who's 15. And then he mentioned that he has sex with a pretty, I guess, I don't know if it was a regular basis, but that he has had sex before. Yeah. And T.I. with an earshot was just laughing about it casually. And then there's a lot of backlash saying, like different standards, all that stuff. And then I understand where they're coming from, but honestly, for me as a male, I'm like my very honest opinion, and this is me being honest to myself. I know that if I was a father, I would definitely treat my daughter and my son differently when it comes to sex.
For sure.
Only because I'm a guy. Like, I understand what guys are like for the most part. Yeah. And that I understand that, to me, young women need to be protected in that sense, I think, more than young men. Because young men, to be quite honest with you, more so are the instigators and that kind of stuff, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And that tends to be that dynamic there. And I think as a father, I would definitely have a difference.
No, I probably shouldn't.
How I protect, or how I guess, like, treat my daughter and son when it comes to, like, their sexual health. But with that being said, I would never be, and I'm sure the same thing.
I would never go as far as to
never be like crazy, like overprotective. Like, nah, that's just going way too far. And if anything, that's just not promoting a healthy, like, sexual health at the end of the day.
And to be honest, there's really no, in my opinion, there's really no good age for someone to start having sex or like just be sexually active. It just, when it happens, it just happens. And as a parent, teenagers, they're gonna find a way. Like,
they're gonna find a way.
Like when I was younger and when I first started getting sexually active, I find it's not like my parents. You always find the way. So I mean, there's really not much you can do. You can just educate them, or at least make sure that they're educated on the risks and all that fun stuff.
And they're actually being safe about it, and they're understanding the implications behind it. Like that's definitely that in and of itself is like way more important than actually trying to prevent it. I think I would probably have the same attitude. I mean, I definitely wouldn't be asking like every week, being like, hey, like, did you get laid? Like, are you a virgin still? Like, I probably wouldn't do that often. Like, I just feel like that would just cause a divide. But, like, that's...
It's kind of, it's a weird topic. Like, it's difficult. It's difficult. Yeah, I can't really imagine being in that position, because obviously I'm not a parent, nowhere close to being a parent, but...
I don't think,
So I wouldn't know.
I don't think I would take my daughter to the gynecologist.
No, I wouldn't.
For that specific reason.
No.
And that's, ugh. Anyways.
Yeah, no, that's just not good.
Yeah. So that's our take. Not good.
Not good.
T.I., not good.
Stop that behavior.
Stop
Sir.
it.
Enough.
Stop.
That's enough of that.
Stop. Cut it out. Man.
Man.
All right. So let's, God, do you see Skip flip-flopping about his love for Kawhi Leonard?
Fantastic number 2. Yeah, number 2 in his heart. Yeah, no, man. To be honest, just as a prelude,
in the heel turn,
I don't really like Skip Bayless to begin with, because I think he's more of what's the word here? He's more of a personality than he is a sports reporter.
An actual like.
But
human,
the thing is, like, nowadays you kind of have to like look at, like, Stephen A. Smith is a real journalist, but he's a personality now. Yeah. Skip is the same thing to me, but I just hate almost everything Skip says. Yeah. In comparison, like everything
Skip says is just so infuriating. It's infuriating. Sometimes.
But
it's so annoying.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. You can change your opinion on somebody. Yes, that makes sense. Yeah. But the drastic way that Skip does it.
He did.
Oh my goodness.
It's not like he just did it after like it's been a month. The season started a month ago.
Yes, sir.
And he completely flipped his stance on Kawhi.
Saying he's the best player in the world now.
I'm just like, oh my God. He was literally saying that Kevin Durant with the injury is still better than Kawhi. But I think it's funny that Shannon also skipped. Also flipped. Yeah. Because for his love of LeBron, I think that's like pretty fucking ridiculous as well.
Both of these are ridiculous. That show is ridiculous.
That show is ridiculous.
As far as sports shows goes, yeah.
Because it's not like, that's the thing. Because it's like that show compared to First Take, like Max Kellerman, Skip Bayless. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Molly's probably a journalist as well. I think she's a journalist.
I think she's an
actual sports journalist. Like the only... Yeah.
She just doesn't get to talk ever.
She just doesn't get to talk.
They just don't let her.
God, dude. But also, like, the comments are so fucking sexist. Oh, the First Take.
Yeah, I know.
Where they're just like, Molly says one thing, and they're just like, that's so annoying.
Yeah, it's brutal. And you know exactly what it is. It's people being sexist.
Just keep going.
Yeah. Oh, no worries, yeah.
So here's the thing with the camera. They can probably hear me.
Uh-huh.
It always turns off.
We're having a little camera malfunction. That's okay.
So the camera turns off after, like, at the 29-minute, 59-second mark. Like every single time, because of an import tax, a European import tax, where if it records for more than 30 minutes, then it's considered a filmmaking device and it's taxed different.
Oh, so it's like a loophole, is what it is. That's smart.
It's smart. It's also really annoying.
It's also super annoying, as a user.
Super annoying because I got it so I could film like hour-long pieces of content.
Yeah, so you can't really. Yeah, so you can't do that. You have to stop it and then you have to put them together after.
Yeah. I mean,
shit, that's really fucking annoying.
It's really annoying. So I think my next DSLR, like mirrorless type camera, like it'll probably I'll try to find one that records unlimited because like they're starting to roll that out now. So I feel like in a year or two, like there are probably going to be more models that do that.
That's an interesting take or
tax. That's
really
weird.
A
tangent. That's a tangent.
That's weird. I didn't know that.
Production 101. So I'll probably put out this video, but like for that like minor just stoppage, I'll probably I'll probably be like add a GIF or something. Like academic style. Yeah.
Only the best.
God, Skip flipping was like, I don't know. And how he took up the Drip Bayless moniker. It's like at this point.
Oh, the Drip Bayless thing.
The Drip Bayless thing after he got that chain.
The t-shirts and the shirt. And
the black suit. Yeah. The black shirt. And then this one chain.
But I'll give it to you. My man Skip is jacked. I've seen like pictures on him on Instagram. Dude's huge.
Dude, like.
What's his workout like?
Dude, I agree. Like Skip is actually like really, really fit for like how old is he? Like a 60-year-old man?
Yeah, I think he's like in his 60s probably.
It's just that like Shannon is just so gigantic where he makes Skip look really small and like, shriveled and disheveled. Yeah. But Shannon's just like so big. It's
also I always see like Skip posting on his Instagram that like he's up at like 2 a.m. preparing or 3 a.m. and I always wonder like did he wake up at that time or is he just not sleeping? Because I know like don't they usually have to be at the studio at like 4 a.m. and shit? Yeah. Like, so I'm like, did you wake up at 2 a.m. or are you just not sleeping?
So that got me thinking because like don't some games? I guess he's on the West. Don't some games end like at like 10 p.m. though, like 11 p.m. He still goes on Facebook Live afterwards.
Oh yeah, so he's probably still awake.
Yes, like he's probably just like sleeping for a few hours and then going to work.
How much sleep do you think that they like people like Stephen A. Smith and like Shannon and they get in the night?
I don't think
not much, right?
Yeah, I don't
because you have to. They prepare content right after everything, like all the games are done.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, they do have like a team of like. They have like a team of like people that like have points, like develop points and stuff. Yeah. Like that's why they have an earpiece so people can feed them lines.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. I actually didn't know that at all.
Obviously, even like I feel like if I had that if I'm in an argument setting, that'd just be so awkward because I'd be like, wait, hold up, oh, I'm talking right now. Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
like,
right.
I'd be like pausing. You know what I mean? Like, but they're so good and like so talented with that.
It's crazy because when you watch it, most people are like, "Oh, anybody can. I could go on TV and talk about sports," but no. Listen, bitch, you can't fucking do it as good as they do. No, you can't. You cannot. You cannot. You cannot do that night after night.
Yo, do you follow the Joe Budden Fitz page?
The Joe Budden, yeah.
Did you see the one where he was on First Take?
No, I haven't seen that one.
He's on First Take like in like 08 or 07.
Yeah.
He's just has this baggy ass suit with his like beard up to here, like up to his eye socket with glasses on, and he's classic. Just talking about sports.
That's classic like, Joe, man.
Just like in his soft voice. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Yeah. I feel like most people think they could talk about sports, but I guess that's like the charm, like that's what's dope about it, right? And that's what gets people watching it because it's so like
universal,
exactly. And like
I guess people, democratic in a sense.
Yeah, and even though those people on those shows are doing it the absolute highest level,
yes,
like,
yeah, I agree.
But to be able to like convey it in a way where it seems so simple to the point where like an everyday person can understand. Like, you're wrong, Stephen A. Like because of these points. I could go on this show, which will get people infuriated and like watching it more.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I think there's like a secret like genius when it comes to Skip Bayless as well. So I think his takes are like pretty nonsensical
purposely,
at times, but like
I think it's orchestrated to be such. Like he definitely knows that some of his takes don't really make sense,
are flagrant as hell. Because you don't go from like being like number 2, like he betrayed my Spurs.
Yeah,
like he shouldn't have gone Finals MVP. Like he wasn't even the best player on his team.
Which is absolute fucking garbage. That was the stupidest take I've ever heard in my life.
Such a horrible take. But you already know that was like in some of the basketball group chats where I was like hating as a Warriors like fan. I was just using some of his points.
And the points didn't even make sense.
No, they didn't.
They made no sense.
Get roasted.
Yeah, as you should. As you should.
Man, RIP to the Warriors. We were talking about this. Salute to your Raptors for
we balling, baby.
Siakam 44 points.
44. 4-4. Come on now.
Do you see Kawhi's like statement about the Raptors?
No, what did he say?
He was just really nice about it.
He's a cool guy.
He's really nice about it.
Along with being a fun guy, he's
always a fun guy.
Also a pretty cool dude.
Yeah. No, he was honestly really cool about like the city. He was like saying how it was just an unforgettable experience, and he was talking about like how he still has people from like Winnipeg coming up to him in the States.
Oh, really?
Being like, yo, I'm from Winnipeg. Like, thank you. And he's just
for winning it.
He's just like amazed by that. And like
how much it meant to like just the whole country too.
Yeah. And he was also saying that like he thinks that people like obviously people on the team are going to like step up. Like OG like is definitely like going to get more. He mentioned him, I think. And like, I'm just like, wow, this is beautiful and amazing.
Good for him, man.
I can't believe I've just talked so much trash about the Raptors in the last like 6 months. It's not good for my spirit.
It's not good for you, man.
It's not good for my spirit.
The Raptors are the shit. I'm telling you. I've been saying it.
I just feel like I can't jump on now.
Man, I was there from Andrea Bargnani days. The Primo Pasta commercials. The fuck y'all know about the Primo on the score? Huh? I remember that. I had that channel. I used to watch that shit. I hated Bargnani. I thought he was the worst. The worst draft pick. I was there when we franchise tagged fucking Amir Johnson. I was there for Amir Johnson.
Wait, is Amir Johnson still in the league?
I think he actually is. He was in the league last season. I remember. I saw him one game, but I don't remember what team he plays for.
I think he's still in the league. That's ridiculous.
That man is not good.
Amir Johnson.
Amir fucking Johnson was a future for a franchise at one point.
Yo, I think at this point I'll probably end up. I wish that Rui Hachimura didn't go to the Wizards. No, wait.
Where did he end up?
Washington.
Playing?
He went to Washington.
He went to the Wizards?
Yeah, he went to the Wizards.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's in the Wizards, but he's actually producing for them, which is like pretty.
Oh, is he?
Crazy? Yeah, he's been like, I think he's been averaging. I mean, it's the Wizards, so I mean, it's not much.
The team's a mess.
It's disgusting.
That team's a mess.
But he did lead them to some wins. I think like he's been averaging like pretty much like 17, 20 points. Ish,
pretty
like
good.
Around there for a rookie, like
it's nice.
I'm like nice, but I'm like looking at Zion, and I think the Pelicans are gonna regret signing Zion.
Why injuries? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
It's one of those things where like even like something like Derrick Rose, where you're too athletic for your own body.
Yeah,
I think that's what the problem is. He's just too big and athletic for his body.
He's way too big.
You can't be that big, that athletic, and your knees and everything hold up, and your ankles. You just can't. It doesn't make sense. The man blew out of his fucking shoes once.
It's like
he's just too fast. He's too big.
I've never heard of that happening in my life.
Never.
And like they were saying like, oh, because he wore it multiple times, but it's like, how many times must he have worn that? Like, the shoe? No, he must have worn it like happen. Third or fourth time, and even then, like, that's ridiculous.
Have you ever seen a freight train stop on a dime? No.
Yeah.
So he probably shouldn't be stopping on a dime. Like,
it's just, he needs to change his play style or something.
I don't know, man.
He just like, because when I look at him, I'm just like, yo, this explosiveness reminds me of D Rose, but like, except this man is like,
but like he's like
280
pounds heavier.
Yeah, 100 pounds heavier. Like, nah, he needs
it's
to.
It's not good for him. Yeah. But like, it's just how he's built. It's hard. Because especially when that's like a huge part of his game, is that explosiveness and athleticism. That how to take care of your body, because it's hard. I don't know.
Exactly, and it's like, because that's all he knows, right? And it's like, that's insane. I mean, Blake Griffin ended up changing his game, but so hopefully he does as well. But
agreed.
He's not playing. He still hasn't made his NBA debut, which is nuts.
Which is crazy. Yeah.
He got injured at the preseason.
One of the most overhyped rookies, but rightfully so, because he was unreal, amazing athlete.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If I was like a general manager, I would have taken, and I had the number one pick, I would have
you would have been stupid not to. Yeah, you would be dumb not to.
Yeah, in that moment, I would have probably gotten fired if I picked John Morant.
John Morant's nasty though.
Yeah, he is.
That man is athletic as well.
He's athletic, and he's got heart. Like he's got heart, man. Like, man. All right, let's move on. Mm-hmm. We've already zipped through 40 minutes.
I know, man.
I feel like we've been like talking about topics, just shooting them off pretty quick.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Exactly. I gotta get you on another pod. I mean, this isn't over yet.
Yes,
This isn't over yet. I still got some more questions and more segments. So actually, like, this is something that I've like always wanted to talk to you about, and I don't think I've ever gotten this opportunity.
Yeah.
But I'm like curious as to like your journey into finance. Like,
how I end up here?
Yeah, how did you end up here? Like, what led you to getting interested in all this and in knowing business, that you wanted to like pursue this?
Okay.
Like, what's the pivotal moment where it like sort of just clicked for you?
I don't know if there's a pivotal moment. I think just growing up, I guess you probably don't know, but my family we're real business family. Like both my parents work. Well, my dad works in the same investment bank as I do. My mom works for the Canadian Revenue Agency, right? And then like one of my uncles is a really, really high up in EY, which is an accounting firm.
Right.
So it's just kind of in my family. And growing up, like I was a kid that instead of watching cartoons, I was watching BBC News. I wasn't like reading like picture books. I was reading The Economist, the ones that my dad would try to throw away. I'd always read those.
Right.
So then like I got really interested, and as well, I was always the kind of person I always want to be part of every conversation and know everything.
Right.
So whenever my dad would be talking, let's say my mom or maybe some of our family members about economics, I always wanted to be able to contribute.
Right.
So it just led me to like just be generally interested in the subject.
Yeah.
And then honestly, one of my biggest drivers as well was I like money and I like making money. So I was like, why not learn about it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and I obviously want to be rich one day. So like this is the best route for me.
This is the pathway,
so it was more of a calculated decision as opposed to a passionate one.
Right.
It's definitely it's definitely not out of passion. So I go into business school and I don't really know what I want to do, but I just know I'm interested in business and economics.
Right.
And then I had a few conversations with some people that I looked up to, including my father.
Yeah.
And then I decided that marketing was not really going to be a good fit for me because it's hard to make money in marketing, to be honest. Unless you're really passionate about it and you're willing to do shitty things, you're willing to put in like hours upon hours. It's really hard. And like I'm not that passionate about marketing.
That's the thing with a marketing degree. It's basically like an arts degree.
Now, now it's an art. It's the same.
With like a sprinkle of like business.
It is.
But like
it sucks, but that's really how it is now.
That's the reality.
On the job market,
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I'm just like looking at like marketing positions. I'm just like, man, this is like people are being paid like minimum wage. There's so many like marketing internships that don't pay you anything.
Yeah.
And I'm in a way like sort of thankful that I didn't get into marketing. Like it always like it sucked when I couldn't transfer faculties over into marketing because like my GPA wasn't high enough. Like I just barely missed it.
Yeah.
But then even looking back, I'm just like, oh shit. Like I'm honestly happy that I ended up just taking communications and economics. Yeah. Because now I have that in my bag and like maybe I can go down a path of economics if like none of this creative field shit works out. I'm sure it will though. I have
absolutely
faith and the confidence.
Yes, sir.
But yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. So pretty much I knew marketing wasn't the one for me. And after I took a few more classes and whatnot, I found that I really, really love data and numbers. Like I'm super interested in numbers. Yeah. And then I'm also really into like investment banking and stuff. And then it just naturally led me to finance, right? Yeah. So then I started looking around at researching companies I wanted to work with. And then I found the company I work with now, Business Development Bank Canada, guys. Canadian entrepreneurs, look it up. Trust me. You won't be disappointed. PDA. So yeah. So then I just ended up working there, and now I fucking
BDC,
love it.
Right?
BDC, sir.
BDC. Not BDA. BDC.
BDC.ca, sir.
Hey. Yep. Check it out. Run up the site numbers. But yeah, like actually, like what? So I guess like with BDC, that's like where your dad works at as well, right? Mm-hmm. But he works there in Alberta.
Yeah, he works in Alberta. I work out here in BC, in Vancouver.
That must be crazy. Like,
it is really.
He must
weird.
have been happy, right? Like,
I think he was happy, but again, like the thing about, let's say, I don't know, I can't speak for all relationships between like African sons and their fathers, but like it's not really excuse me.
All good?
Yeah. Sorry. It's not really I wouldn't say it's like super affectionate. So like obviously we talked about it. I was like, hey, I'm working here. He's like, oh, cool, good job, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. And sometimes we'll talk about like economics, or I'll talk about some of the deals that we have on the table, where I work, or something I'm going through, or maybe some legal documents I don't necessarily understand. Right. But then that's pretty much it's very professional. Yeah. Another thing about finance is that I love is the fact that you can apply it directly to your own life. So in terms of personal finance, I find it really fascinating just the decisions people make on a day-to-day basis. Because even both of us, when we worked at Canada Dress together, I remember we used to marvel at the horrible decisions people would make.
I still do too. Yeah, because
some of the stuff people would be spending their money on and prioritizing in their lives, it's kind of... You almost want to shake them and be like, hey, wake up. Like, you're really fucking up your life right now. And it's so easy to fix. Like, you don't need to go to Tim Hortons every single day. You don't need to spend money on iPhone game power-ups every day.
Some people are, like, looking for $500 loans. Yeah. Like, literally spending, like, $60, $70 on Ubers over the weekend with a Netflix subscription, eating out, like, damn near every day. Yeah. And it's, like, it's baffling because all you got to do is, like, I feel like all you got to do, get their bank statement, show it, like shove it in their face, be like, look at this.
Read it.
Look at this or read it.
I think this is ridiculous. I think in isolated situations, you always think like, oh, I need this. Right. But then if somebody was to lay it out for you, like just the whole month of what you spent, you'd probably be shocked. You'd be like, I could cut out so much of this shit in my life.
I'm definitely getting to that point as well. And it's honestly been really fruitful because by doing that and like realizing, oh, I've been spending my money like eating out like often. Like, why am I doing this? I don't need to. I just need to like cook at home. Like, I have a kitchen at home. Like, this is fine. And I can skip out on dinner. I can just come after the dinner and hang out. Exactly. And then, I don't have to just spend all the money at the bar.
You're right.
Like, there's liquor stores are still open. You know what I mean? Like,
there's so many ways.
That has allowed me to like buy all this equipment still and like save up money.
I was reading a report last week about how millennials, more than any other generations, are willing to go in debt to spend just to keep up with their friends. So let's say if my friend can afford to go on vacation, but I can't, then I'm willing to get a loan. Yeah. And also, like, it seems like, this is not a report I've read, this is just my opinion, but it seems like increasingly our generation is very like willing to ignore obvious signals of like personal financial distress. If you go to your bank and your bank won't provide you a loan, right, and then you have to go to a subprime lender, like the fact that you got denied for a loan at your bank should be a signal that, hey, like,
should be a very red flag.
Exactly.
This isn't the way
to go to subprime lenders is not smart. And it seems like we're so easily fooled. Like, if we see, oh, I can do it on my phone, therefore it must be good. No, it's not. It's not good, right? Yeah.
Man, like, I've been getting ads for RBC's, like, lines of credit. I'm just like, oh, my God. Like, I can't imagine if I was in a position where I was, like, less financially literate and I saw that. I got pre-approved for $30,000. Like, there must be some people out there thinking like, oh, this is my money,
it's
and
free
I can.
Money, yeah.
It's free money, and I can just like pay it back. Like,
money is never free.
No, exactly. And especially loans, like they come at a cost. Like credit cards come at a cost. Like,
absolutely. And I find
why do you think you get the cash back benefit? Because they're making money, much more money than giving you back that cash. You know what I mean?
And the other thing is that people have just a gross misunderstanding of how interest rates work.
Yep.
Because most interest rates when they're presented to you are presented to you in an annualized way, right? And most people don't necessarily understand that. And some brokers or I guess I call them brokers, but people who sell you financial products are really clever about it. They won't lie to you, but they'll break down the interest like let's say monthly, and then it'll sound like 3% when really it's less. Over 40%, right?
Exactly.
Which is something that we saw where we worked.
With the salespeople.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
and to me, it's morally repugnant. I don't agree with it at all. Yeah. But at the same time, I do believe, because I am a out and out capitalist, and I do believe it is the consumer's responsibility to learn. Take time. Like, doesn't take that much time.
Absolutely.
To just before, especially if you're doing something to do with a financial transaction, just Google it.
Just Google it.
Google how interest rates work. Just Google interest rates and just read. Take 10 minutes and read. And then you can avoid making such a big mistake.
Why do you think like there isn't like a financial literacy class in high schools?
Taught earlier.
Yeah, that's why do you think there aren't? Because I've always thought about this because it makes sense to have a unit for that.
For financial literacy?
Yeah. What's weird is that like my like grade 12 math teacher, he actually did break down like APR and like interest rates.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, which is really amazing. Like he was just like, no, it's actually this. Like I was like, whoa, that's crazy. But I don't know why they don't teach it earlier.
I kind of assume that it's kind of like the whole dichotomy between schooling and parenting, where the school thinks it's the parents' responsibility, and the parents think I don't know what parents really think, because I don't know how many parents are really sitting down with their children having these conversations, or they just assume that my child will learn somehow. And some parents
they probably learned.
Yeah, they probably learn, but I think the school just assumes that the parents will teach a child, and it doesn't necessarily cover the responsibility. Because I feel the way high schools are run is they're not really run to educate; they're run to push you to higher education. If that makes sense, they're not trying to leave you with. They're not trying to leave you with actionable skills. They're trying to leave you with skills that a foundation for university.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, that's because high school is supposed to be feeders to universities. Yeah, correct.
Sometimes I felt that way with universities, even where I was just like, oh, I feel like what I'm learning with economics is just a foundational base for me to do my master's.
Yeah,
or get my PhD. Like I felt like that going away from it, because I was like, I do not know nearly enough as I need to know about economics. Like I feel like I'm just coming away with a foundation.
With the foundation of the basics. Yeah, no, that's completely fair.
Yeah, maybe like with maybe schools haven't caught up with the dire need of financial literacy, because maybe it's like these, because I feel like these financial products didn't exist did credit cards even exist in the 70s? 60s and 70s?
We could look it up, but I would assume they did exist, because people were buying homes, and you have to
get some kind of like, I'm sure like there was like
there was a way to like issue credit,
right?
So that's always been around, but I think what the difference is between then and now, even if you look post financial crisis and pre financial crisis, it's like the prevalence of these risky financial products, and like who they're being marketed to, right? Because risky financial products, as far as I know, pre 2008 were mostly marketed to people with jobs, right? And then jobs, stable incomes. But then the closer we got, the more we started seeing that people that had almost no job or no stable income were getting mortgages, and then boom, economy collapses, right? So, and now it's the same thing, but now it's not just people with no stable incomes, it's younger people, like people that just turned 18 that don't know anything are being marketed products that they should never be marketed.
Weren't those like loans and like those subprime loans in 2008 tied to like the houses?
Yeah, so
tied to housing, but now I feel like that's not a requirement at all anymore.
Essentially what would happen was I would apply for a mortgage, right? And normally the mortgage broker would be like, oh, like, do you have a stable income? And I have to prove out, like, prove that I have stable income, and then the interest rate would reflect my risk, right? All that stuff. But I guess what was happening was I would be able to get a mortgage with no money down, and I wouldn't be paying an interest rate, right? But this was contingent upon the fact that my house, the only way this could ever work is my house, the housing price would keep going up and up and up, and I'd sell eventually. Yeah. But as soon as somebody called in the debt that I couldn't pay and everybody else called in their debt, the whole thing collapses. Yeah. It's like a house of cards.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you pull the card from the bottom, everything collapses and everybody's fucked, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
man. Yeah,
and I feel
crisis.
We're going to, and the other thing was that the reason why it affected the banks was the banks were essentially making bets on these, because they're taking these mortgages and you put them together, and then you have the CDO, which is the financial product which they were trading and swapping. But then what happened, which I think is super illegal, was when the banks, when they saw this crisis coming, they essentially started, the products that they were making, they would bet against them, which is wrong. Like that is, if you, in any other realm of reality, that's completely illegal.
What the fuck?
That's completely illegal. You can't bet against something that you sell to somebody.
Isn't that kind of just like rigging like a sports game or something? Yeah, and then just like putting money against the opposite team, but then ensuring that your team loses. Like that.
Yeah. That's what they're doing. That's what they did to make money from the back end there. But I feel like we have a similar crisis coming, but in student debt. Yeah. Because student debt is, you can buy student debt as a financial product now in the States, I've heard.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. And I think student debt in the States alone is like 1.4 trillion right now. And it's a real crisis. It's a real crisis that people are you have to borrow essentially to get ahead in life, but it's a gamble, right? Yeah.
No, definitely. It's a huge gamble. It's a very, very costly gamble, especially in the States where, at the minimum, I think going to school costs about like $30K.
Yeah. So right? It's something around $30K.
Yeah. Like I remember having like homies from the US saying like, oh, this international school fee costs less than going to school in the States. Which is crazy. Yeah, tuition in Canada, like at McGill for $20,000 was cheaper than going to school in New York.
Oh, wow.
In like Providence and like Rhode Island. And it's like...
That's crazy.
It's insane. Do you think a U.S. president's ever going to like relieve that student...
All of it?
All of it? Do you think they're ever... Like, do you think that's just a talking point
I think it's more of a talking point because in reality, because that's money that's owed to the government, essentially.
Yes.
And obviously they use that money for something. So that $1.4 trillion that's outstanding, that means it has to, they've probably budgeted for certain things to happen in society. So it has to come from somewhere, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. And also the difficult thing about that conversation is it's a hard one to have because it's kind of unfair. Because let's say I'm done.
I think I know where you're going.
I'm done with school, right? And I have student debt, right? But then if you're like from now on, everybody after X date doesn't owe student debt, and then it's not fair for me because it's like now all of a sudden I'm 50 meters ahead of or behind the race, 100-meter race, right?
Yes.
And it's not fair. And it's like the same issue was being discussed where they're like, okay, how about from now on, no more tuition? No, me, because like morally, yes, okay. But me, I would always be against that because I'm already in the job market. I have a job, right? But if, let's say, you take away tuition, you're encouraging way more people to go into school. It's going to get way more competitive. And then these people are going to enter the job market and they're going to drive down wages. And what's going to happen? I'm probably going to end up getting paid less, right? Because I'm not far enough ahead in my career such that it'll affect me. So there's these other effects that you have to think about when you try to institute policies such as that.
And how do you like determine which school gets more funding than the other? Because it's like Harvard is, but then obviously they can't allocate the complete. I feel like if they do that, then like institutions like Harvard and Yale, they're going to start deteriorating because that's a lot of money to provide. You know what I mean? Like
it's a lot. Yeah.
It's a really difficult issue, and I'm like looking forward to seeing how. Well, I don't want to say looking forward, but like I'm just curious as to like how they're going to try to approach it from here on out.
Yeah, because that issue, that student debt issue, even here in Canada, it's going to come to a head eventually.
Yeah,
like it can't carry on. It's not possible.
No.
Because even now with 1.4 trillion outstanding, you have to assume that a good chunk of that people are going to default.
Yeah.
And what do you do? What are you going to do with those people that default? And what are you going to do with those financial products that all of a sudden are worthless?
Yeah.
Right? What happens then?
Yeah.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah. God, I hope it doesn't happen. You know what I mean? I was about to say I hope it happens sooner than later, but then I was like, wait, should I say I hope it happens later than sooner? But I'm just like, wait. What? It shouldn't happen at all.
It shouldn't. Yeah, we just shouldn't even be in this situation.
Yeah, but
I'm like, it's crazy. Like you can't spend 12 years of my life telling me that I have to go to school in order to be successful.
Yeah,
and then turn around and be like, oh, by the way, you're gonna need to borrow money, and not tell me the implications of that. Yeah, I'd be like, you have to go to this place that you can't afford, but you have to do it.
You have to do it. But
in order to guarantee to me, there's something wrong about that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think, but I do find that right now there is more of a movement of encouraging younger people to explore other options.
Yeah, no, and I totally agree with that.
I feel like when we were growing up, that was always
the only option was to go to university, go to university.
I remember I had homies after high school that ended up going to plumbing and like they became electricians. Yeah. But then that was just like only a few of them, and then I was thinking like, oh, that's not normal. But then now here they are making way more money than me. They make so much more money. And people way in the trades, more money than like a lot of people that I know. Yeah. And like...
It's the same thing with people I grew up with too. But I know me as a father, I'm probably... I mean, I will obviously stress the benefits of school, but I will be willing, more than I think my parents are ever willing to, listen to my future child's argument for maybe not going to school.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because like if you have a legitimate plan and something that you want to do, then because right now, quite honestly, going to university is a gamble at the moment. No, I think it's a gamble. And with the prevalence of like social media and the ubiquity of pretty much every kind of content, you can create content at such low cost with such low skill level that you don't necessarily need a degree to do a lot of things that you used to need
to. Yeah, I agree. Oh, that's my mom.
Hi. Good, how are you?
I'm going to take this moment to start the camera again. All right. So, no, that's... God, I feel like... Honestly, that was a good tangent. And here's my dog now, and she's going to start barking and stuff. But I guess... No, she'll be fine. I guess what are your... let's wrap this up.
Yes, sir.
I just want to get what your aspirations are for 2020. Like, where are you going to go? You know what I mean? Like, what's your plan for this next decade?
What do I want to do?
Yeah.
I think just in the short term, honestly, I'm just trying to save money and pay off my student loan. Yeah. And I think that's the most important thing to me, right? Yeah. Because and the way I prioritize my goals is that I don't like owing money. I hate it. Obviously, like most people hate it.
Yeah.
But obviously, in the long term, I do want to move up at the bank I work with, and I do want to get promoted and start getting paid more, and actually start to build wealth, and also start investing my money. Yeah. And then I want to become an entrepreneur. Obviously.
Yeah.
That's always the end goal, because you'll never become rich working 9 to 5.
No, definitely.
You won't. It just won't happen.
I guess it's like you want to end up doing like your own independent. Okay, Coco, you need to relax. All right, I'm gonna take Coco.
No worries.
I had a thought and then she distracted me. Anyways, I could also edit.
No worries. Yeah, boom. Edit it.
Edit it. Magic of editing. Like that. That's actually really awesome that you have that plan of like the way in which you're going to move forward, because I'm sort of in the same boat of not wanting to work a 9 to 5, and especially working this job, I realized, I want to do my own thing, and I want to start my own like marketing agency potentially, or something to do with branding. Like that's been like a really big focus of mine. Right now I'm trying to find a job in like a marketing firm. Yeah. Like you said, it's very difficult.
It's hard.
It's highly competitive.
There's a lot of applicants.
Doesn't pay well at all.
Nope.
So now I'm at the point where I'm exploring just multiple streams of income.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to diversify as much as possible.
You have to. Yeah. Honestly, you have, especially if you want to build wealth, especially now for people our age with like how expensive it is to just live. Yeah. You have to make money somewhere else.
Yeah.
right? Even if you're not making money somewhere else right now, learn how to. Like in the meantime, try to learn something. Like if you're interested in investing, learn how to invest.
Yeah.
Do some research.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
There's no harm in that. You know what I mean? And like, I feel like even just talking to some people like our age, like some people are just like, oh, I don't have time. It's like, you do have time. You do have time. Yeah. You binge watch whole seasons of Netflix shows.
When you get home, you have time.
When you get home, you have time.
Absolutely.
You have mad hours when you get home. You could like learn a new language, like learn a new skill set. You don't even have to read.
You can literally watch YouTube videos nowadays.
Exactly.
Like, there's so many different ways.
Exactly. Like I literally learned how to edit videos from YouTube videos. And I learned how to use Photoshop and like even do this. Well, actually this I did take a course. But like
that's fair still though. You learned, right?
Still learned. And that's the thing. Just because you're out of school doesn't mean learning stops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
it has to be a lifelong thing.
All the time.
It has to
all
be.
The time. And life's not this binary thing where you are and you aren't. It's like you gotta end up like reinventing yourself as well. You know what I mean? In order to achieve success.
Or to progress.
Yeah, in order to progress.
Yeah.
Otherwise you'll be stagnant, you know what I mean?
Which is the worst thing. The worst.
Yeah. Do you see some people where you're just like, you look at them and you're just like, oh, you seem like you're just gonna stay.
Like this is it.
This is
as far as you're gonna achieve. Yeah, no, I've definitely, especially people from my hometown where I went to high school, I feel like a lot of people there are kind of in that position only because it's more like complacency breeds complacency. Like they want to just be like what their parents are, which is like a middle class person who does middle class things, and they're cool with that. Yeah, you know what I mean. But like for me, that's not enough because there's I want to do more with my life.
Yeah, no, right? I feel the same way. It's actually funny because like I experienced that at my high school as well, where I find that even going to school and at this like private school, like I just feel like a lot of people that went to school there are just very, very complacent, and they're just cool with just doing exactly what they're doing now, and then not thinking ahead. Because I don't know, of course life is a very long process, but I think people underestimate how little time they actually have. And like how they're not valuing all of their time, you know?
Absolutely. Especially the amount of time that you have, or the amount of time you have to, and energy you have to build something that's going to provide decent returns for you is not really that much. If you think about how much work you're going to actually have to do, you really don't have that much time.
No,
so,
not at all.
Like you don't really have time to be wasting. Like you can't really just be wasting like 10 years of your life doing nothing, right?
Yeah. Or not. Yeah, that's kind of like what I've been learning as well, because I've been realizing, if I get people to help out with things I'm working on, that saves so much time. Like, I always find that like when I do like group projects and stuff, like I always just end up taking the reins of it. But I've been learning to just like learning how to like let go and just allocate certain things to other people. And that's all a part of spending my time efficiently. At the end of the day. So
it's like knowing what battles are worth fighting kind of thing.
Exactly. And just being able to prioritize and focus. Like that's what I'm trying to work on this I guess this year, 2020. But then the next 10. So I guess for yourself, paying off those student loans, getting a better like position within the company, learning new skills, and then starting your own business.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like you're starting your own business now, right? Like with the startup that you've been doing, like.
What are you talking about?
Don't you have like a startup?
Oh yeah, I know. Me and my friend, yes. We're working on something. It's essentially not to divulge too much information on it, but it's in the space of fintech where we essentially want to make investing easy for millennials or just people our age. We also want to make it affordable because obviously like the average person that's 20, 23, 26 can't afford even a single stock in, let's say, Google or whatnot. But what they can afford usually are, let's say, smaller mining stocks that may be less than $1 each, or which is penny trading, or they can afford to buy into ETFs, like exchange traded funds, which are essentially like bundles of stocks or that move up and down with that particular industry sector or whatever you chose. So it's something that makes investing affordable, but at the same time is educational is what we're trying to go for. And then,
then
what you have to do is you have to package it in a way that's attractive, right? Because I find with most investment platforms, they're so, if you don't know, it's just not user friendly. Like, you have to know what you're looking at right away. But if it's something that's easy and intuitive and really like graphic with lots of pictures, you'll be able to see, like, you will see, the stock went up and went down. Something that explains what an ETF is even, or like with videos embedded, something, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think those skills are important.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's like definitely the mission that I'm trying to go down with, like, that I really admired about this economist named Alan Kruger. He wanted to make economics easy to digest as well. And I just feel like these things have that barrier of, you need to know this amount in order to understand, but it's also really important information. Like, but sometimes it's like you just have to try a little harder to be able to relay it in a much simpler and more easily digestible way. But that provides so much value for so many different people.
No, I totally agree with you.
You know, so I think that's really cool, and I hope that that takes off.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, me too.
You got this. Okay. It's been, hour and 10. Let's go. It just flew by just like that.
It went by so fast. Perfect.
Yeah. No, so I think, we're going to wrap it up right now. What's your first potting experience?
This was my first potting experience. Okay. It was fun. I liked it. I loved it a lot.
It was a good time.
It was a good time.
Yeah, thank you so much for getting on. We will get another pod going as well.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully in the near future.
We will. Must happen.
Yes, must happen. I feel like we covered a broad range of topics here, just like toxicity of future.
From future to investing. Come on now.
Yeah, you know the vibes. Okay.
Where else you can get this content
from? Exactly. All right. Thank you so much for getting on.
No, thanks for having me, man.
I guess, do you have anything to plug? Like, do you have any socials, or because I can like honestly include them in the description.
Absolutely,
video,
yeah.
So.
Just he's probably gonna be included in the description, but just follow the Instagram RUFXRO. As well as add me on LinkedIn, Rufaro Mupanguri.
Yeah.
That spelling is complicated. Don't worry, it'll be also in the description.
Hey, it will 100% be in the description.
And just connect with me.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can do.
Hey, talk to this guy. Connect. Absolutely. Ask him questions.
Absolutely.
All that. So thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for being on.
Thanks for having me.
This has been episode 26 of the film. No longer Fill-In-The-Blank Interlude, Naoto's Interlude Podcast.
Name change.
With your host. Boom. Yeah, name change. Boom. With your host, Naoto Wakabayashi. Signing out.
Amazing.